This is my audience. Okay. Hi everybody, thanks for coming to listen to my speech. My name is Jacqueline Mills, and I'm doing a speech over why you should not get divorced. So in the past decade, marriage has become a very controversial topic. Do you really want to give up your freedom, as most would say? And then others say, do you want emotional security, a family, and a support system? A family, or I guess it really depends on how you look at it. But how healthy can it really be to enter or stay in marriage? There have been several studies done over the years to determine psychological and health benefits to enter and keep a marriage. Marriage is important in the event that you wish to have a family and have children. Staying married is the real hard part, though. You have to be willing to work for it, and so does your significant other. A happy marriage can truly last a lifetime. Once married and the honeymoon phase ends and wears away, it's no walk in the park. The two people have to make a choice to love, and there are only positives once you take that leap of faith and really work at it. Getting married is the fun part. You're in love, it's something new, you look forward to all that your spouse and yet you have yet to encounter. After the fluff of the marriage is over and the tough times are liable to be ahead. If you stick it out and strengthen your love, you can reap many benefits. There have been several longitudinal studies that have been done over the years that have found that transitions in the marriage are associated with declines in depression among women and declines in alcohol use among most men. Having someone by your side and knowing that you are never alone, because you now have a teammate for life, would most definitely help wind down a person's depression. A study done in 2004 showed that individuals who undergo divorce show evidence of a decrease in general mental health. As the saying goes, behind every great man is a great woman. When men avoid marriage, they continue often with the antisocial, destructive behavior of single men. It's the role of the husband, not boyfriend, and not even father, that seem to be the common key. Having children by itself does not work the same transformation in men's lives. Marriage is great for a person's mental well-being, but once kids are born, finances get tough, and what are the real benefits of staying married, especially if your children are involved? As one of 5 children to 2 parents who loved each other and us all unconditionally, I have to say, growing up in a home filled with love has had huge impacts on me personally. I had never realized the effects my parents' happy marriage had on my mental well-being as a child. As I get older, I can only hope to have a marriage half as great and loving as theirs was. A marriage doesn't only affect the 2 people when children are in the mix. Reams of social science and medical research have convincingly showed that children raised by their 2 biological parents enjoy better physical, cognitive, and emotional outcomes on average than children who are raised in other circumstances. Every couple has their fights, but my parents definitely made it a point to not fight in front of us or bring us into it, and divorce is the worst way to bring your kids into it. It's so important for children to learn about love from their parents and not hate. When something's broken, you fix it. Both husband and wife have to know that they will fight for each other and have each other, and put forth an effort to keep the love alive and make the marriage last. In this day and age, that seems to be less understood, and divorce rates are higher now more than ever because leaving seems to be the easy option. In 1970, 9.3% of women who were aged 35 were single with children. That number has climbed since then to being, in 2014, 20.5% of women at age 35 were single with children. That statistic shows that more people are simply deciding to divorce. Divorce happens for many reasons: lack of communication, finances, hardships, family deaths. This does not mean that there isn't a way to make it through the tough times and come out stronger. In 2013, about 28% of the nation's children were living in single-parent families. And nearly 80% of that statistic, of those children, meaning 17.5 million children in the U.S., were living in female-headed single-parent families. Now, that's not to say that single moms can't do it all on their own, but a male role model is that much more important. A divorce also has major economic consequences. Obviously, there's less money for the children, the women, and the man, and there's potentially greater work hours to make ends meet. So why is it that men more often than women feel that they can leave their kids and their spouse? Well, it's pretty simple. Women carry their children for 9 long months, creating a special bond between their kids. Men just don't have that same attachment. In addition, sociologists McLanahan and Gary Sandiford, who wrote the book Growing Up with a Single Parent, have recently reviewed the best scientific studies and reached the conclusion that not having a father present has negative consequences for children, which I see we've already known, especially when it comes to high school graduation rates and social and emotional adjustments. So why not stay married? When the going gets tough, the tough need to realize that a life partner is the true goal and not to always be right. I'm currently reading a book by the marriage counselor and psychologist Dr. Gary Chapman. It's titled The 5 Love Languages, The Secret to Love That Lasts. He makes sense, and his ideas really revolve around learning to speak each other's love language, not necessarily speak the same language. Everyone has something that makes them feel loved, whether it be quality time, hearing affirming words, receiving gifts, feeling their partner's touch, or having services done by them, such as cleaning the dishes or taking out the trash. Each person has an emotional love tank, as Dr. Chapman refers, and if this love tank is ever empty or remains empty, it's hard for that person to feel love towards their spouse until their spouse begins to fill the tank. But if a spouse continues to fill the tank by achieving your emotional needs, the love remains, and they will hopefully return the favor to you. If a spouse makes their other feel appreciated, they will do more and potentially return the favor. Marriage is something you jump into for many different reasons, hopefully for the right reasons. We do not say until death do us part for nothing. You are stating that you promise to stay regardless of circumstances that it may arise, and you will be by their side through sickness and in health. In case you don't know what a vow is, it's a lifelong commitment, a promise to somebody that you choose at one time, but not for that one time, but for eternity. The biggest problem in marriages today is that it's easier to just continue shopping. And once married, many people do not stop shopping. With technology now, you have people and everything at your fingertips. With better looking opportunities right in front of you, and marriage gets a little hard, it's easier to split and just go find somebody else that's right there in your hand. Love is hard, it takes effort from both sides, but if a marriage works out, there are many benefits for both people. If you are struggling in your marriage, I'd like to suggest that same book, The 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. This book truly gives insight on how to love your other smarter, not harder. And God allows people to walk into your life, and it's really up to you who's worth keeping. Thanks for coming today. My audience is the beard.